So it seems like the latest news from Chicago is that the murder of No Limit JDogg has now been solved. Okay, it seems to have been solved on Reddit. It seems like the authorities aren't far behind, and this is looking like it's a really, really bad situation for G Herbo. A lot of people are suggesting that maybe G Herbo might have had something to do with what ended up happening to JDogg. There's been rumors of a fight between him and Big Op before the shooting took place, and we're now seeing footage from the alleged shooting that seems to show the shooter wielding two pistols at the same time. I've never seen anything like that in Chicago. So before I tell you about all of that, let's just cast our minds back, okay? Let's just cast our minds back to exactly everything that happened, okay? We learned about this individual called JDogg. He went back and forth with a number of people from No Limit, saying that G Herbo's banned from his hood. You know, No Limit's a very notorious, dangerous block in Chicago. Very famous gangs that have come from this area. And this guy JDogg, he got out of jail and he said, yeah, things have changed a little too much. You know, G Herbo, you're gonna need to be careful. You maybe can't be coming back around certain places. One of the most infamous youngsters from No Limit, Big Op, said, hell no, ain't nobody telling G Herbo where he can go. And if you got a problem, you can talk to God about it. Well, just over a week after those posts were made, No Limit JDogg ended up getting killed, and his funeral took place since the last video that I did covering this situation. So amid everybody trying to work out what had happened and what was going on, funeral services were taking place, and a lot of people were very, very heartbroken at the news about JDogg being killed. This is him being laid to rest. They're carrying his casket there. Really sad stuff. I don't want to play the music there, but you can see what was going on. And people are saying, damn, it's crazy how he was just here, but that's how life goes, man. You know, it's really sad to see that. Just another young man taken by the streets before his time. So a lot of people were attending the funeral of JDogg. A lot of people were very heartbroken over this. People saying, honestly, I feel for people in the streets. Burying this amount of people is not normal. It must take such a mental toll on them. And there were pictures of the funeral program that circulated too, which just kind of break your heart. Celebration of the life of JDoggy. Somebody posted that, said, I love the F out of you, baby boy. This was just the day of his funeral. The people were saying, damn, he was only 26 and it was his birthday recently, or maybe that wasn't quite right. But yeah, a lot of people after the funeral were saying that the No Limit gang was basically split into two and they were going to war. So, you know, you've got these different offshoots from No Limit. You know, you've got Shorty Mob, younger members, younger shorties that are waging war for the No Limit crew. You know, you've got Drench Gang. That's a big thing that you see people like Big Op claiming. And a lot of people are saying there was a massive split and that, you know, JDogg was running a crew called Boss Gang. Big Op was running the crew called Drench Gang, both under the No Limit umbrella. And it sounded like these two groups have fractured now. And a lot of people are speculating, do you think Shorty Mob going to go against Big Op? This was a post made by some of their members. It said it's time to skull emoji. But this a quick play. So we loading up, and that's them with pictures of the funeral program. So they're basically vowing to get revenge, and you know, go to war with them. It says, yeah, and they mess with Bloodhound way more anyway. I never seen Big Op put them in a studio or nothing. Only 50 or AMF and them. People saying if that stuff happens, I give this sub about 4.5 minutes before somebody posts changes that baby splat meme to Op digging in. Anyway, all right. A lot of crazy discourse going on around this situation, but yeah, you know, a lot of people are posting this. They're saying it looked like the Shorty Mob guys were taking JDoggy's side. This is a post from somebody affiliated with them. It says, damn cool, my dude JDoggy, you and Gliz got me tweaking. I love the F out of you. Rest up forever. 8 block. The mob got you for life. And people are saying these Shorty Mob youngsters are going to be waging war in the name of JDogg. But at the same time, the authorities aren't far behind. So people are posting this other picture. People were saying that this might have been his son. They're saying is JDogg baby Splats pops, but they're saying no, he was actually like more like a father figure to him. He looked up to him. So there's a lot of people really mourning hard over this situation, and there's going to be a lot of unfortunate repercussions in the streets by the sounds of it. So there was a big rumor, okay, that it was over a fight. This post was deleted, but we can see the headline here. It says, damn, so JDogg died for beating up a dude from No Limit, and the rumor was that JDogg had a fight with Big Op from No Limit, and you know they were trying to actually settle this big dispute. And the rumor has it that JDogg kind of got up on Big Op during the fight, and that's when guns started getting blasted. People are saying it's like the A-Roy situation. That was a situation in O-Block where two guys were having a fight. Someone kind of was losing the fight, and then they came back with a gun and shot the whole thing up. So it's really, really sad when this sort of thing happens, man. And it just goes to show you, man, a lot of people say, you know, hey, why can't we squabble it? Why can't we fight it out like the good old times? But that's not going to run these days. You can fight it out, but before you know it, That's gonna be it's gonna be guns drawn. It's gonna be a shootout. Now, the footage of the shooting of the incident has been circulating. You know, there are photographs. This is a photo of him shooting at him, Ross running away. There's no bullets being fired here, so I guess I probably can show this to you, and that's before he actually got hit. But they're saying that, you know, he got shot in the back. He was running away. They'd had a fight. There had been a, you know, a fair one. They'd fought a fair one, and then this person had pulled two guns. You see, and he's holding two guns on him there, and he's pointing both of those guns at him as he's running away down the street, and they're saying this is when the murder happened. Now, this got posted on Reddit, and they said, Reddit detectives, this is y'all time to shine. This was just 7 hours ago, and it seems like the Reddit detectives did put in that work. People have been saying it's been known who did it. The name in the article is exactly who folks that live in that area told us it was. And they're saying that this is the shooter, Fabius L. Shipman, Fabrizio Salgado, I guess. People are saying, you guys are fast. They worked out who did it. And this is somebody from the streets who basically we're going to be seeing a lot more identification of in a minute. Okay, people are saying, so is this the older brother that came back blowing? People are saying, no, it's the older cousin, but he came back to shoot after JDogg got up in the fight. Now, after this, news has spread around exactly who this person is. People are saying it's G Fabe. Okay, I know there's been rumors that this is actually the brother of G Fazo, a very notorious member of No Limit who died a very long time ago. And people are basically saying, yep, it's confirmed. It's G Fabe who did it. After reviewing the whole incident that was captured on camera, the ATF confirmed it was G Fabe, the brother of G Fazo, who allegedly upped two guns, shooting and killing No Limit JDogg and injuring another person who was with him. According to the police, nobody snitched, and G Fabe was easily spotted because he apparently walks with a limp. Okay, and all of this news made it to Reddit. Okay, everybody's worked it out now. They know exactly who JDogg's killer is. They're posting photos of him, posting pictures of the incident. It's very, very looking very bad. He's the brother of Fazo, Faro, and Fabian. I'm pretty sure Faro's Big Ops, so they're saying it's Big Ops' big brother that's responsible for this. You know, they had a fair one, and then it led to guns being drawn. They're saying dude's finna kill you and be at the gender reveal like nothing happened, man. So a lot of posts went around circulating G Fabe as the shooter. People are saying G Fabe did it. You know, this is Chicago Hits, a notorious page that's very good at identifying who did what. It says G Fabe, the brother of G Fazo, has been identified by the Chicago PD as the shooter of No Limit JDogg, and the entire incident was caught on surveillance footage. So I've got the full article here from CWB Chicago. This is from the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. It says, man on felony pretrial release fired two guns at once in deadly South Shore shooting. It said a man who was already on felony pretrial release fired two guns at once in a South Shore alleyway last month, killing a man and injuring another, according to a newly filed federal complaint. Federal. This is why this is important. Okay. This is why this is big bad news for G Herbo. This is why this is potentially a RICO waiting to happen, because it's a federal complaint. Fabius L. Shipman, a convicted felon with 2019 federal drug convictions, was charged Friday in a U.S. district court with illegally possessing ammunition. Prosecutors say Shipman opened fire with a gun in each hand during a September the 29th confrontation behind the 2500 block of East 78th Street, right in the heart of No Limit. It says the entire attack happened on surveillance video, providing key evidence that helped investigators identify Shipman, even when the surviving victim did not. So they're saying there's no snitching going on, no telling. And it says the footage showed a man with a pronounced limp, later identified as Shipman, arriving in a black Cadillac Escalade and walking into the alley around 3:36 p.m. He approached a group of men and appeared to get into an argument with at least one of them before pulling two handguns from his waistband, the federal complaint said. He then opened fire with both weapons, killing 26-year-old Jaden Hibbler and injuring a 17-year-old boy. The shooter fled the scene in the Escalade moments later. So it sounds like he was called to the scene after he found out what happened with that fight and got straight to shooting and then just left immediately. It's very sad. Okay, it says police recovered 19 shell casings of two different calibers at the scene, according to a federal complaint. Federal complaint, bad news, filed by an agent from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. There's multiple law enforcement officers, including a Posen police officer and a former Chicago police officer now working as an ATF research specialist, reviewed the video and recognized Shipman as the gunman, the complaint said. The feds just saw from the video, from the way that he walked, they just saw the video and they said, we know exactly who that is. That's how you know the streets are finished, bro. You don't need snitches. You don't need snitches anymore. The cops will see how you walk. They're going to get you from your gate. Your gate's going to tell on you. The way you walk is going to tell on you. Said the Posen officer stopped Shipman from a traffic violation in February, an interaction that was recorded by the officer's body camera. But Shipman allegedly sped away from the traffic stop and was later arrested while wearing a White Sox baseball hat with a gold sticker on the brim, a hat identical to the one worn by the shooter. Okay, these guys aren't the smartest criminals in the world. No offense, but were you wearing clothes that you were pulled over in with the same sticker, same hat, same walk? It says the ATF intelligence research specialist remembered Shipman and Shipman's limp from an encounter in June 2019, the complaint said. At the time of the shooting, Shipman was on pre-trial release for felony charges stemming from the Posen incident, according to court records. He was previously convicted in 2019 of federal cocaine trafficking charges and sentenced to 5 years in prison, making it illegal for him to possess guns or ammunition. Shipman is the 15th person accused of killing or trying to kill someone in Chicago this year while on felony pre-trial release. His limp stems from injuries he suffered crashing his car while fleeing the Chicago police in 2013. 4 people, including Shipman and a CPD officer, were injured in that incident, and they've even got info. This is a 2013 article. Even the newscasters are connecting all these things together, right? Felony charges filed for Fabian Shipman. 4 people injured, including a police officer. He was 25 at the time. He was charged with possession of a controlled substance, and he got in a chase and had a crash with the police, all right? That is really not a good look, and all of this stuff's all just getting tied together. And just identification didn't take long at all. It's a really, really bad look. Okay. People are saying, damn, can't believe he's been identified. They worked out exactly to it is. They're saying all bro needed was a ghillie suit. All right. I don't even think that would have helped him. He's saying they're cooked like turkeys in Thanksgiving. People have been making videos about this. All right. And the picture of him shooting 2 guns has been pretty viral on Chiracology because people are saying, I ain't never seen anything like that. They're saying the dude that killed JDogg was really blowing 2 blicks. This stuff is crazy, gang. Okay, dude thought he was really Max Payne that day. And people said he was. He was Max Payne that day. It's actually crazy. They already got his name. They got everything, all right? YouTube video has been up for weeks about him being the shooter. I hadn't actually seen that. Okay, they're saying he's cooked. They got all type of info on him. Bro, he's fully overly cooked. He's finished, bro. They got him from his gate. They know the brother. The article knew exactly what fucking incident he'd been injured in. There's not really much more, all right? They identified him from his limp. ATF recognized him from the limp, from crashing into the police. This is absolutely ridiculous. They're saying double bolt that back door and stay strapped. The guys get funny when they got to start picking sides. They're saying JDogg definitely got taken by surprise. A lot of people have just been describing just how crazy this hit is. This is just one of the craziest things that's happened in Chicago. They're saying this dude JDoggy got shot in his back 8 times, got stood over. They shot a JDoggy and a 17-year-old. That's another attempted dual-wielding handguns with extended mags. That's another charge. Plus he on cam in 4K. This guy is dumbass fried. Herbo probably ain't even pay him nothing yet. Plus he 40 plus. That's what people are saying. They're saying he was really out there like Max Payne shooting his own homies. He's cooked. Life in prison without parole. They're saying this street stuff, this is what you love. These dudes got assassins. They just know how to up. They're not assassins. They just know how to up pipe and kill a dude. No preparation or nothing. Just do it. Gone. And just speedy trial, plead out. You cooked. Dude was just tired of being free. They're saying he thought he was in Modern Warfare 2. That's effed up. I can't imagine being in his brother's shoes at the time. It reminds me of the dude that killed Buddy just for speaking to his girl earlier this year in Chicago. Just get pissed and crash out. It's so cold-hearted, but that's how he was raised. It's sad, okay? People were saying this whole thing was always going to get solved, all right? It was always going to get solved. Why are you so surprised about JDogg when we've been told you the situation literally a day after it happened? Some of y'all missed the news when it first happened, or did you just not believe the people who said it? JDogg and Big Op got into a fight. His cousin didn't like Big Op lost, so he shot JDogg. Apparently, JDogg pulled the gun first. They say, but we've been said this, even Trench's news. You got to start believing the guys. It says he ain't pull out no gun. Dude just came up there on his own trying to save Op. If Big Op himself ain't do nothing, then why the F would the other dude and Big Op, one of their sliders, do the goofy? If another man not doing nothing, what gives you the right to step in and do something like this? And it says there's no gun visible on the CCTV. I hope nobody dies behind that JDogg thing because dude's going to feel extra shitty in jail knowing he did all this and just landed a hefty prison sentence and his own homies got killed by his other homies. People are saying, I wonder if people are mad at Big Op in a way. But someone said Baby Splat accidentally shot Big Op before this and claimed that that's why he lost to JDogg. That's just a rumor I've seen on here. Definitely a sad situation, but people can't fight without getting in their feelings, okay? So, one of No Limit's biggest and most feared ops, all right, Hell Rail from Lakeside. Now, if you don't know about Hell Rail from Lakeside, okay, the rumor was that he had taken out one of the most notorious members from No Limit, okay? And, you know, there was rumors that he was snitched on before the person died. All crazy stuff. The fact this guy's even free is crazy on its own. But he is basically mocking Fabe for getting caught for the murder. And he's just running a victory lap right now. And this is No Limit hate this guy.
You 40 right now. You say 40 years, you're going to be 80.
He eating during the live like King Von. This is crazy.
You gotta murder Anna's now. So how many you take 60 for the murder?
He's saying you got a murder and an attempt. They're gonna give you 60 for the murder.
Them take 40 for the goddamn attempt murder.
And he's saying they might give him 40 over the attempt.
So the attempt murder, sorry, what?
And this is somebody that knows about catching bodies and getting good time, you know what I'm saying?
21 to 45 or 45. I don't know. We get more time for a murder, attempt murder. At this point, you probably wish you should have killed both of them motherfuckers, man. And you wish you would have masked up like me.
That's actually crazy. He's saying you wish you would have masked up like me. He knows about masking up and taking people's lives. Like, that's all I was saying.
And shit like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. The fact he's even commenting this on is crazy. People are hating. People are saying then he was making love to them chips, all right? So damn, brother couldn't do this live after he got done fucking them chips up. Then dudes be hungry, man. All right. Anyway, this is what you're all here for, all right? Basically, people are saying G Herbo is actually in a lot of trouble now. Oh, come on, man. They love removing these hot posts, man. They love removing these hot posts. Well, look, I saw this post before it got deleted. I'm wondering if I've even still got it on my phone. Hang on. Well, unfortunately, I can't find the post, but this was basically a post saying G Herbo could potentially be in a lot of trouble. There was rumors. Look, I'm just going to say what I remember this post to say, okay? People want to say that I'm being messy, but I saw the post, okay? They've removed the post, but I saw this post, and it was speculating that G Herbo was in a big trouble over this situation, and that essentially they were saying that maybe he had been, you know, putting up the money for this to happen, or maybe he had wanted this to happen, maybe he had instigated this happening, and a lot of people were saying he's in big trouble and he could be cooked by Rico. Now, the comments are still here, okay? People are saying, where do you keep getting this big op part from? I've seen zero hints of him having anything to do with it. People saying the story since the beginning has been that Big Op and JDogg got in a fight, and then Big Op went to grab help, and they came back, and the dude killed JDogg. Okay. People saying Herbo ain't got nothing to do with it. Dudes took their own initiative, but the feds aren't gonna like that. Hey, tell that to Lil Durk. Lil Durk ain't do nothing. Lil Durk ain't have nothing to do with it, man. Those guys just wanted to slide for VOD on their own initiative, bro. Rico all over the place, bro. They don't care. They were even trying to say Glow Gang might have something to do with this, man. But look, the comment got deleted, basically. But look, I'll just tell you, okay, this is a really bad look for G Herbo, okay? This whole beef started when this person, JDogg, who is now dead, said that G Herbo couldn't come back to the block. And then Big Op clapped back saying, hey, you can talk to God about it, okay? This is all such a bad look for G Herbo. Doesn't even matter if money hasn't changed hands. If the feds can even get a hint that Herbo was happy about this happening, if that he was, you know, somehow instigating the violence that was going on, or if he was gassing some of these guys up to go and do this. And I know that the feds have been dying to put a Rico on No Limit for years now, okay? These guys have got away with way too much stuff, okay? That little wet murder case, caught 4 bodies, ends up beating it. Absolutely crazy, okay? There's a whole bunch of violence that's gone on both sides. Big Op, there's rumors of him having all type of bodies, okay? This is a seriously bad look for No Limit. I think this is going to be a very, very... honestly, like, I think the likelihood of a Rico is very high, to be honest with you. It's crazy, you know, and the feds are, ATF are breaking everything down. They got the footage of the guy shooting. They got his gait. They got his limp. So I don't even want to know what they might have on the other guys, the more senior leadership of the crew. So I think this is just really, really frightening stuff. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if a Rico isn't far behind. And it was saying that this was being investigated by the feds. There was a lot of federal talk in that article about the situation. So I really, really would not be surprised if federal charges aren't too far behind, and that they're going to do the best. They're going to do their utmost to try and get everybody at the higher levels of the crew to basically get wrapped up in this whole thing. That doesn't give me any pleasure to say that, okay? I'm a huge G Herbo fan, but this whole thing has been such a bad look, and honestly, if I was him, I would definitely be worried. I'd be distancing myself from all of this stuff. So anyway, that's the latest update. That's all the breakdown for you guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll be back with another video on Durk very soon. Peace.